This is HSE Mindset channels. This is Marimuthu Kannivadi. We are in live for our weekly HSE live programs. So today we have a training about when safety officers gets blamed. It's important one because every safety professionals must know when really the safety officer gets blamed. It's one of the major area everyone has to think, because when you know yourself, then only you can improve your career wise, your overall, your job wise, your responsibility wise, your careers wise. You can improve when you gets blamed, because people always try to blame, especially the safety profession is a critical one. People always try to escape and blame the people, because the safety is everyone's responsibility, but the finally everyone they gets blaming the safety officers. So because of this blaming culture, we have to see how we can improve being a safety officer, how you can improve, what are the factors you can consider. That's important. You see, when you know what you are doing, how you are doing, then what kind of actions you are taking, what are the mistakes you are committing. When you know that one, then only you can improve your overall system. And when you want to go as a safety manager or director or whatever it may be, but the career side, you want to grow, you have to definitely know the what are the mistakes you are doing, why you are getting blamed. Because all the other industries, they will not easily gets blamed because of process, but the safety is everyone's responsibility. That's why everyone gets blaming the safety people. So you have to make sure you are doing your 100%. Then when you are doing the 100%, then people sometimes blame, but you have to see whether it's correct or not, or the blaming is incorrect or fake. You have to realize, but whatever blame, you have to improve. It's a improve, we can say in auditing terms, improvement potentials. So the blaming itself is a improvement potentials. You can improve a lot being a safety professional. The every day is a learning process. When you are learning every day, then what all mistakes people are committing, you can just observe, take it in a positive way, and you can improve your side system wise. Standardized system required lot of improvement. So the improvement only by means of people, when they are blaming you, then only you can improve as a safety officer. So okay, then when a safety officer gets blamed, you did not monitor. So when you didn't properly monitor, what they've said, okay, you didn't monitor, that's why this happened. They will tell you didn't properly monitor. Then you did not assess the risk. So if some accident happened, something big mishap happened, the people blame the safety officer. You did not properly assess the risk. Then you did not train properly. If the new employees or any new persons or contractor supplier who all gets injured or any mishap happen, then safety officer gets blamed. You didn't train properly. If new employee is not wearing proper PPE, then safety officer gets blamed because you didn't properly train the new employees. Then you did not enforce rules or any regulations. So when you are not enforcing the any rules, so people gets blaming you, because if in a company, in a yard or in a site, people use people driving the vehicle more than speed limit means people, safety officers gets blamed. You are not enforcing the rules. Then you should have prevented it. Sometimes safety officers standing there, or some mishap happening, some minor accident or major accident happen means people always gets blamed safety officers. Okay, you standed there, but why you didn't prevented that one? So these are the blaming game always for safety officers. Most of the people, they never know the safety is everyone's responsibilities. They thought the safety officer is for safety. Whatever accident, incident, whatever safety issues comes, safety has to take responsibility. But what about others? Others also take responsibility. But when it comes to violation, when it comes to accidents, incidents, any issues, definitely the safety officer gets blamed, because they want to focus on safety officers blaming. They want to excuse, they want to escape, they want to escape from blaming. That's why they immediately started to blame safety officers, because every company or site may be safety department or safety professionals few. They thought the safety people are simply standing, but for safety department have so many works. The safety is not a safety department job. It's a safety is everyone's responsibility. Even operations or any department, they have to take care. But here, when safety officer gets blamed, these are the areas definitely they are getting blamed. So you have to take proper steps for getting blamed. So when you don't have monitor, means they'll ask if something happened for new employees, why you didn't monitor? Gets blamed. Then you did not assess the risk. So when a big fire comes for any gas cutting or welding, people tell, no, you did not assess the risk. That's why fire happened. Then you did not train properly. When the new employees gets accidents. So when the new employees getting accident, immediately safety officers gets blamed, because you didn't given proper safety training. Then when you did not, sometimes companies having the safety rules. So if the employees not properly following the safety rules means, in case if they didn't properly follow the safety rules, any action happen, then safety officer gets blamed. You did not enforce the rules properly, safety rules. Then you should. So sometimes any mishaps happened in the managed risk companies. So definitely the safety officer asked to come to operation department. Then operation department asked the safety officer, you should have to prevent it. why you didn't prevent this accident? Because that much, sometimes that much knowledge is there for some people, but you don't worry. But this is all learning process. When you get blamed, you should not worry and panic or any kind of tension or stress. You have to be patient. Being a safety officer, you have to be patient. You have to learn what mistakes it is, what kind of blame it is, how I can responsible for this, how I can improve for this blaming. So these are the things you have to definitely think of. You have to take some actions in that. When you take the actions, definitely everyone gets you also learn, you get improve your safety system. Then here safety. So there are here two systems are there, RCA and CAPA, two standard. Normally the blaming, we can say blaming. In this blaming, we can focus on, being a safety officer, you can focus on RCA and CAPA. What is RCA? RCA, root cause analysis. Then CAPA, corrective and preventive action. Corrective action and preventive action. So these two things you have to be, when you know these two things, definitely you improve a lot in this. So RCA and CAPA, root cause analysis and corrective actions and preventive actions. Whenever you get blamed, you have to think about RCA and CAPA. So the RCA means root cause analysis. So identify real cause. So you have to, when some people is blaming like this, being a safety officer, first you have to go for root cause analysis, then identify real cause of the incident or accident. Real cause of the incident or accident, that is the first root cause analysis you have to go. Once people gets blaming you, then you have to think two options. First one is root cause analysis. Second is corrective and preventive actions. Corrective actions and preventive actions. So when you go for root cause analysis, why the accident happened? Why this incident has happened? What is the root cause? How it's happened? Why new employees gets accident? So when you go for the real cause, then you have based on that real cause, you yourself justify that this is not safety matter. The root cause analysis says that the problem is in some other way. For example, in this process, identify the incident. First you have to identify the incident, then you have to the data, collect the data, facts and data. Then you have to be you have to use the 5 ways, 5 whys. You have to ask 5 whys. What are the 5 whys? When, where, how, what, then where. So when you use these 5 questions, when the incident happened, and the normally fish diagram is there. The fish, based on the fish diagram, you can analyze the root causes of this incident. Then you will get the answer. Based on that answer, you can support you are not right person gets blamed. This is not your fault. So this is the first way of explaining. This is not your problem. This is somewhere other problem. But so whenever the safety officers gets blamed, first you have to go for root cause analysis. You have to find out the real cause of the event. In this event, the process is first to identify the incident. What kind of incident? Who all participated? What will be the reason? Whether fire, for accident, or any other cause. Then you have to collect the data and you have to, what are the facts involved, fact and data, you have to collect it in that incident area. Then use the 5 whys questions. Where the accident happened, you can ask 5 why questions. What, where, when, how. So that kind of question you can ask the parties involved for incidents. Then you can use the fishbone diagram. When you go for this fishbone diagram, you can have the proper root cause analysis structure. In this root cause analysis, you can determine who will be the main person gets blamed, or who will be the responsible person for that incident. You finally gets. So that is the one solution. Otherwise, another solution, the corrective action and preventive action. So corrective action and preventive action is totally permanent curing the system, because this root cause analysis you are finding and telling okay, but that incident should not be repeated. So that is being a safety officer, that is your goal. So being a safety officer, you have to be always think about not reoccurring the incident. So permanently you want to solve the issue. In that case, you have to go for corrective actions and preventive action. First you did root cause analysis. You proved, based on the data, you proved you are not responsible, or what are the factors really involved for that incident. Next, second part is you have to do the corrective action and preventive action. When you do the corrective and preventive action, you are make sure this will not be repeated in future. This kind of incident not repeated in future, and you are also not gets blamed. So you have to take the corrective action first. In this corrective action, fix exact reason and immediate step. This is corrective action is for immediate step. For example, one uneven surface. In that uneven surface, one new employee gets accident and he fell down. So what you have to do? There is a corrective action. Uneven surface needs to make a even surface. So for that, you have to do the corrective action request to the concerned civil department or concerned operation department. Tell that because of the uneven surface, one of the employees gets accident. So this needs to be corrected. There should be a corrective action request. When you send the corrective action request to the operation department or concerned civil department, they will do the even surface. Then that is the permanent corrective action for that place, not reoccurring the accident. So that is the one way. Then preventing the action for future purpose. So preventive action means you can also request a preventive action request. In that preventive action request, send to the civil department or operation department, wherever in company or site, wherever the uneven surface, you have to make it even surface for avoiding the accidents. This is the permanent cure for the entire industry, not repeated the same incident in the site. So you have made 2 requests. One is corrective action request, another one is preventive action request. So when you did the preventive action request, then the problem gets solved. This is how normally the safety officer gets blamed means this kind of procedures you have to follow. When you get when you are doing the preventive actions and corrective actions, your problem gets solved, and also the entire problem solved only by means of this kind of process. So whenever being a safety officer you gets blamed, you have to think why I am gets blamed, because of what kind of character, what kind of mistakes I have. So you have to think it. So people ask, you didn't monitor, you didn't properly assess the risk, you did not train the employees, you did not enforce the rules properly, you may be prevented this incident. Once incident happens, people always gets blaming the safety officers. So when the people blaming you, you should not be frustrated. You should not be over talking. You should not be take sensitive decisions. You have to be patient. Why? Because the blaming is always there for safety officers, because it is the major incident for the industries. Incident, accidents, it's a concern with the linked with the external government parties. That's why people easily escape from their side. They easily blaming the safety officers. In this case, you have to do two things. One is root cause analysis. Another one is corrective action, preventive action request. So by the means of root cause analysis, you know the identifying the real cause, who are responsible for that incident. So you have a proper data in that. So what you have to do, identify the incident, then gathers the data and facts, and then you can use the 5 why question, full this diagram to get the proper information. Then you can finally determine what will be the cause, who will be the responsible for that incident. Then this is one way. Another way, corrective action, preventive action. Being a safety officer, you have to take responsible for avoiding the accidents future. That's why the corrective actions, where the accident happened, any issues are there, you can make a corrective action request, and this accident should not be repeated in future. For that, you have to raise the preventive actions. So these two things you can raise it for not reoccurring the same incidents in future. So that kind of things you have to do. So once you did these two things, the problem gets solved. You have a proper document. You are not the person gets blamed. You are doing professional safety work. You people when asked questions, people when gets blaming you, you have to show the records that this incident not because of me. This incident involved some other parties. I have a detailed incident analysis report and the interview and piece diagram, everything you made it. So for that you can make a reference. Same thing, if anyone again the same accidents or incident happening in that place, then you must have a corrective and preventive action request form. You must keep it. If anything happened at there, I already raised the corrective action and preventive action request, and I submitted to concerned department. They didn't done. That's why this action happened. So being a safety officer, I don't have that much resources, but these things too must be done by operation department. If they didn't done, so if you get blamed, you have to answer it. So these are the valid documents you must carry, you must keep. In future, if somebody getting you blamed means you have to valid documents, then only you can, your problem gets solved, then no one raise the question against you. So that kind of things you can follow. This is the system. In this system, when you following, then your blaming gets reduced, and you will be the professional safety professional, and your blaming gets reduced, and no one blaming the professional safety people. Who gets normally blaming? The blamed people always unprofessional people. When you have a professional document, professional way of safety, then definitely no one gets you blamed. So you have to easily, the initial stage of safety officer gets lots of blaming, but you have to be patient and you have to do all these things. Keep records in your custody. That record speaks you and you'll be relieved. So that kind of attitude you must have. So being a safety officer, always in operations or any site, any incidents, any mishap, any people not using PPEs, always they gets blaming the safety officer. But when the people gets blaming for incidents or fire incidents or accidents, you have to see this root cause analysis, corrective action and preventive action. You have to make the document for this. You have to make the document for this. These documents you can keep for record you in case in future anyone getting you to blame, then you have to show the document. I did my work properly. You must have inspection report. You must have a training report. You must have a proper legislation report. You must have a HSE inspection report. You must have a preventive action report. You must have a corrective action report. And then what all you are monitoring, daily monitoring reports. These all the reports always speaks for you. When the people gets blaming you, these reports only protecting you. When every day you are making the reports and doing the observations and inspections, these reports only speaks for you when the people gets blamed. If you don't have a record, definitely people gets blaming you. So make sure you are having all these documents, and when after incidents you have to do these things, these two things, you also make the document for that. These all the documents only speaks for you, you can gets relieved. Otherwise, if you don't have any records, then people always gets blaming you. So that kind of things should not be there. So being a professional safety officer, you have to make proper records. HSE inspection record, HSE training records, HSE legislation records, because you are following what are legislation for that. And preventive corrective action reports and daily HSE inspection report. So these all the reports you keep, and also if any accident incident happens, you can show it to them. I have already raised this issue, but concerned department not shown interest. That's why this accident happened. So initial stage, when the people gets blaming you, you have to be patient. You have to observe everything. You can learn everything, and also you can make these two things. Then only you can speak to concerned people. So that is the when safety officer gets blamed after incident and accident. What are the things you have to do? This is the entire process. So when each and every safety officer know this one, definitely you can improve your career side, your daily working side also. In future also, you can improve as a safety officer, and also you can go up to safety manager level. So thanks for watching this. When safety officer gets blamed for our HSE Mindset channel. So still you didn't subscribe it. Subscribe our HSE Mindset channel. Like it, share it, There are more HSE videos, training videos, and then updates are available in our channel. You go through it in video session and a live session. There are so many training records are there. Definitely these records enhance your career, enhance your knowledge. So go through it and continuously learn. Every Thursday, Friday, we have a 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. training live sessions are there in our HSE Mindset channel. So don't forget to watch. Thanks for watching. We will see you in some other live sessions. Thank you.